Hey, what's up, everyone? Ralph here. So, in this video, we have a young man who's very frustrated with the way the economy is going right now. And just like a lot of people, right? The fact that a lot of people can't afford homes, living paycheck to paycheck, can't even buy food for themselves. And I think a lot of people are just frustrated because they've been sold this dream that they were told to if you go to school, get good grades, you can get a good job, and then you can live the life that you want. And a lot of people are coming to the realization that that's not happening. All right, and it's causing a lot of frustration, and some people are having a hard time actually dealing with that realization. So, and you can understand why. Obviously, everyone has their opinions of why people are living paycheck to paycheck. Some of it is caused by of course the inflation. Some is caused by obviously a lack of personal finance. But regardless of whatever the reason is, a lot of people are not happy with the fact that it's just hard to live a normal life here in the United States. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let them talk, and then I'll share my thoughts in between.
Can somebody explain to me in crayon eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage and I cannot afford to live? And I do not want to hear the pull yourself up from your bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. That's not the goal, guys. That should not be our standard. I am so fucking tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over.
And that's the sentiment for a lot of people, right? Obviously, everyone's struggling financially. Everyone's tired of being able to everyone's living paycheck to paycheck. And when it comes to the government, everyone obviously knows if a lot of blame is going to go towards the government, right? But they do such a good job of having us infight and fighting each other. It distracts us from where our energy should be put towards it, which is our government. But obviously we're distracted. We're busy fighting each other, and he obviously talks about that, which is true, because a lot of this mess is the fact that our government, the way they manage our money, is causing this inflation. Okay, and it's hard because people are trying to live their life. People are trying to do the right thing by going to school, getting an education, and then hopefully finding a job. But they're finding that that's not reality. So it's causing a lot of frustration, and people are having a hard time actually dealing with that reality.
When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800. 2-bedroom apartment, $2,200. Who the fuck can afford that?
Something people gonna have to understand that doing this stuff alone that's done. That's over with. Like being able to just live on your own, those days are gone. Okay, I understand everybody wants their privacy, they want their independency, but it's hard to do that now, right? And I know that's frustrating for people to really hear and understand, but trying to do everything by yourself, trying to live on your own, trying to purchase properties on your own, it's very difficult to do that nowadays with everything being so expensive. And I understand the frustration, but it's you got to get out this mindset that now, I want to live this life by myself, and you're going to have to deal with that reality because life is too difficult to do this by yourself. Everyone needs, whether you got family member, whether it's a spouse, you're going to need someone else to help get you through this. And you have to come to that realization. And as frustrating as it may be, that this is reality. Okay. And like you said, the fact that you can't, get a job, you can't have your own job and then have your own space. It's difficult to deal with, but yeah, those days are just they're gone. So you have to really come to that realization.
It is embarrassing to come out and say that it is a struggle to survive right now, but I know so many people are struggling. And do not get me started on what my grandparents were doing. They $3,000 house. And yes, I understand inflation and all of the bullshit that they have been pulling with the Fed. Why are we allowing it? Why? And then I clock out of my shift. I am tired. I have to go home. And I check the news. Another 60 fucking billion to a country nobody can point out on a map. What are we doing? Where has the plot gone? We have lost it, folks. We have fucking lost it. The American dream is dead. It is over. Gone and forgotten.
Clearly, he has a lot of energy. Look at the American dream, right? Is it dead? I don't want to say it's dead. I just think it's different. right? The whole notion that you go to school, get education, and then get a job. I think that is you got to get that out your mind. That dream is gone. I think you have to come up with a new way of making money. Okay, because you have to, like, with a job. Obviously, you have the whole regular 9 to 5 job. It's difficult to just work a regular 9 to 5 job the way inflation is right now, because your income is not going to outpace inflation, right? Which is going to make things more expensive. So I think you have to come up with a different way of making money, whether you're doing the side hustle, whether you're starting a business. You have to find a way to multiply your income exponentially, because a regular 9 to 5 job is not going to do that unless you live a frugal life. Right, or you have these high-paying jobs. If you're going to work the 9 to 5, then you got to make sure you're living within your means. You're not spending recklessly. That you're spending less than you make, and you're gonna have to live a frugal life with a regular 9 to 5 job, depending on your type of employment, whatever your profession is. So for me, like, I understood that, right? I used to be like, this level of energy, like, obviously is anger. I mean, I used to feel that way, but I was like, you know what? Yelling and screaming is not going to help me, right? Because I can't control what other people do. I can't control what the government does, right? I'm only one person, one vote, right? I put my vote in, and then obviously I see where things go, right? I like to be able to be like, all right, what can I control? Because I can't control what other people do. So I understood that, you know what? I have to find a way to make money, right? I need to find a way to create income that's going to outpace inflation, right? For me, starting a business, doing side hustles, and not relying on that regular 9 to 5 job, because I knew that I couldn't control my income when it comes to a 9 to 5 job. Like I said, if that's what you want to do, that's totally fine too, right? I know that, starting a business is not for everyone. Okay. And I get this, I understand this, but it's just like, if you're struggling living paycheck to paycheck, you need to understand that the way the economy is right now, things are difficult, right? And will it get harder? More than likely it probably is. You got to prepare for that. All right. And I understand that it's not fair right now. It's definitely not fair. It's not fair that we can no longer buy homes like maybe our parents did back then. We're living paycheck to paycheck, can't afford the food that we want, and you can't live that life. Especially, you can't live the life that you want, right? You can't travel, do the things that you want. But you got to understand that. I mean, this is reality, and you have to come up with solutions. There's a problem, find a solution, and whether it's that starting business, doing a side hustle. Like for me, like a book I would read. Like if you're someone that inspires to start a business, make more money, or maybe not rely on a 9 to 5 job, right? If you're this person, like, a book I would recommend reading is like 2 books, right? One is like this book right here, The Millionaire Fastlane, right? It talks about everything when it talks about, in terms of the lies that we've been sold to when it comes to the American dream, going to school, getting an education, and all that good stuff. This was a really good book that starts it off. And it's the same author. Like, it's another book that he wrote called Unscripted, right? It goes into further detail of this book. Like, it gives you like the baseline, but then this goes into the further detail, and breaks down like actionable steps if you're someone that's trying to like make money, build wealth, and stuff like that. So these are like 2 books that really like can really like give you some ideas and really jumpstart your process into going outside the whole 9 to 5, right? Not relying on it, being able to control your income, take control over your finance. Because like I said, you work at this 9 to 5. He works at this 9 to 5 job. He says he makes 3 times the national, the federal minimum wage, and he still he's still living paycheck to paycheck. And that's because inflation is outpacing that. Things are more expensive, and your income is not obviously rising at the same rate. So you have to find a way to multiply your income, right? Have control over your finances. And, reading books like that is going to do that. And is it hard work? Very hard. It's extremely difficult, because it's easy to just go to work and then get the paycheck, right? It's difficult to say, you know what, I'm going to start from scratch, build something of my own, and you're going to go through maybe a year, 2, maybe 3 of not making any money. And that's the level of sacrifice and grind that you're going to have to go through. But like, once you start to figure it out and you figure out how to make money outside of the 9 to 5, it's very rewarding. And you have control over how much money you make. And that's such a gratifying feeling, because you're controlling your income. And if inflation is raising at 3%, or 5%, whatever it is, then you can find a way to then say, you know what, I need to multiply my income where I can, multiply it by 10, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is. You have control of the amount of money that you make. And it's very difficult because, like I said, we all have just one vote, and we can't control what our government do. And I know he's like, why are we allowing this? Because, unless everybody's going to collectively come together and do what we have to do when it comes to, getting these people out, it's going to be the same thing. So you have to focus on what you can control, right? And the only thing I can control is my efforts, right? It's my ability to say, all right, how can I make more money? What can I do to make more money and live the life that I want to live? Because things are going to get more difficult, and working that regular job is not going to get you where you want to go unless you want to live frugally. You live in pay. You're spending less than you make. Other than that, it's going to be very difficult. So you have to come to that realization and say, all right, what is the goal? Like, what is the solution? And you have to do that. And like I said, I understand his frustration. A lot of people have this frustration, but you have to figure out, all right, what is the solution? What are you going to do? And for me, I read these books, I watch YouTube videos, and I try to find ways to make more money outside of the 9-to-5 job. So this is the struggle that everybody's dealing with. So let me hear what your thoughts are. Make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button and share. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so you guys take care and have a good one. Later.